Last week we did the base trays for our desk organizer, and so this week we're going to move on to our standing trays. They all use the same size sheet of paper, but come in big, medium, and small, and they tuck in right here. So, let's get started. Step 1 for the tallest one, but for all of them really, is to do a really gentle diagonal crease down the center. And so what I like to do is to hold down one corner, bring the other up to meet it, and then right next to where I want that crease to be, I just run my fingers over near it, lay it out flat again, and then work the crease out. Step 2, you gotta do a sharp diagonal, but remember which one is which, and then you release it. Step 3, bring the corners in, do a sharp crease, and release those. Step 4, bring the top and bottom corners in to the center, doing a partial press crease. Don't go all the way through, just press down. Then bring that corner back to that press crease, do it again, and then do it again one last time, and repeat that on the other side, and release. Step 5, we take a point and bring it up to that last press crease line. Then we lay it on down and crease all the way through, release it, and repeat it on the other side. So the right and left sides are going to be what really give this piece structure, while these will give it the length and wrap around. It'll make sense when it's all finished, but it's going to start to get a little complicated right now. Step 6, we again have to do on the top and bottom, but it's a bit weird, and it goes like taking this point down, then taking the edge that makes and bringing it to this furthest middle line here, laying that flat and creasing it, then releasing that point, and if you notice, everything makes a nice little trapezoid here, and once that point is released, taking it here, folding everything back so it meets that press crease, creasing, and then taking this point and getting it to meet that spot right there, the third furthest line and that center line. Get that to meet, press it, then fold that point down, crease everything, and then repeat on the other side. So that's point down, edge to the furthest, creasing it all the way through, release, pick up so you can fold that back, then taking that point to there, pressing that on through, wrap around, tuck, and these two should be able to lie flat like that. Step 7, we fold in on these lines before giving everything a nice press and making sure everything is creased right on through. Step 8 is basically to release step 7, but also do these pre-creases so it will actually stand up and assemble later. So we gently do that, leaving these two flaps in. Basically, what you're going to do is take these creases and put them to these ones. It's going to put that in and make a triangle, so just reach on in and pinch that out. Do it on both sides and you'll get this nice neat little triangle here. Fold that down with a nice pinch so you can see it later, because that is how we're going to get a nice and even side when we get to step 9. Step 9, find where you pinched on the right and left sides and fold those in, then release the top and bottom flaps, then tapping that down so it goes in, pretty much grab where you made your pre-creases, then tap them in. They'll make those little triangles. Gently work one flap down, and basically move the piece however you need to make sure that you can get the top and bottom flaps to wrap around everything. And don't be afraid to grab a pencil or something to gently tap everything where it needs to go, if you gotta, because that's just how paper be sometimes. But in the end, it should basically look like this. It is going to be your tallest standing box, and the rest basically do similar things, just with different fold points for these, and so let's go on to those. For the medium box, step 1, we start by doing a light crease down the center and working that flat. Step 2, we do a sharp crease down the other diagonal center and release that. Step 3, perpendicular to the soft crease, bring in the edges to the center, sharp crease and release. Step 4, perpendicular to the gentle crease, take the corners, bring them in, do a gentle press, take the corner, bring it in to that crease you just made, do another gentle press, and then repeat with the very edge, and make sure you get that done for the top and the bottom. Step 5, take your top and bottom corners, bring them to that gentle press crease, hold that there, and then swipe the entire thing out, forming these two lines as you do both the top and the bottom, and release. Step 6 is a little interesting because we have to do it on the top and bottom and get it to look like this by the end. So that's this very tip into that quarter point. Then we take this edge here, bring it to the furthest line, and then we have to bring this edge back, folding it so that we expose this line. And then we take this edge and bring it forward so that everything meets. And then we wrap around and make sure that everything can fold properly without running into issues once it closes. Do that on the top and bottom and you're set. Step 7, we bring these side bits in, give everything a nice hard press, release it all, bring these in, and another nice hard press. Step 8, we need to pre-crease our side folds up in here, and as we do that, notice how it forms an internal triangle. If we hold that together right here, and on the outside, find this line, and then gently pinch down, that's how we're actually going to bring the height down to make this the medium box instead of the tall box. Step 9, find the bits that you pinched and fold them in. Then, making sure that the center wants to go down, pick it up by the sides and take the top and bottom corners that you've turned into flaps and wrap them around. Because of the way that you folded everything, it will want to move in certain directions, and it will catch on itself just through the friction and being paper. Don't be afraid to grab a pencil to straighten everything out, but you've got the medium-sized box. Step 1 on the smallest one, again we have to start with that gentle diagonal crease and work in that flat. Step 2, we do that second diagonal, nice and crisp, and release. Step 3, perpendicular to that crisp one, bring the sides in, crease hard and release. Step 4, do the gentle press folds going in on the top and bottom. Step 5, do the next set of center lines by bringing the point to that last fold on the edge and release. Step 6 on the small one is we bring the top and bottom points to the center, and then we invert those folds, because this is about to get interesting. Step 7, we're going to take these edges here that we just folded back and then bring them to the center lines closest to them and give everything here a nice good crease. Step 8, we're going to take these bits, fold them in, making very sure that nothing's overlapping along these lines here. And once they're in, we're going to follow these lines here and fold everything in and give all of that a nice good crease. Step 9, we are going to partially release 8 so we can extend these, then take the sides and make sure that they get a nice good crease by folding them in and then releasing them. Step 10, we have to make our flaps again, and so we do that by taking this point, bringing it up to here, taking this edge, bringing it to here, taking the edge we just made by doing that, and then bringing it up to here, bringing all of this down, then making a nice little series of trapezoids that can lock itself in place. Then we have to do that on the other side, so flap to point, crease to edge, crease to edge, and then gently working everything around so it'll come lie like that. There we go. Step 11, we double check that these fold in right, and then we start working on our pre-creases, making sure that everything goes nice and well, and you'll notice that everything will follow those nice little lines right there. Step 12, we pop these open, fold these in, and we finally start proper assembly. Working things through, pinching them where we need to, and gently tucking. Again, don't be afraid to grab a pencil or anything that will fit in here to help it take its shape, but by the end you will have the small box. And there you go. And once you've got your standing boxes all sorted out, you can tuck them right in here. And they fill out that extra space nicely.